Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. So a guy, he is 27 years old, and he shares his story from 6 years ago when he was 21, he was in the Army. And you're going to see in his story, guys, how he meets this gal through circumstances that are highly suspicious and creepy, I might add. And eventually they do what they do, hooking up and everything. But you're going to see how she convinces him not to use protection, and how that definitely could cause some major problems in his life. And that'll be a very good one to go over here, even though he ends on a high note for the guy, where you must always wear protection. Always provide your protection, always wear protection, and always dispose your protection. And for all that is sacred and holy, do not buy the whole I'm on the pill song and dance. There are plenty of gals out there that find a guy and they want to have a baby as a way to either have a guaranteed money stream coming in from that guy, or to get the guy to marry her. All these tricks and tactics. You must be careful. And I know what it's like, guys, when you have this smoking hot babe that's India, and she doesn't want to wear protection because, of course, it feels better. Well, you should know this, most of you that aren't virgins, that it feels better without the protection. But is it worth that small speck of time of pleasure for 18 fucking years of dealing with some crazy bitch that you got pregnant, or having to pay for? You get the point. You gotta wear protection. You gotta take care of yourself. And I might add that not all these things are. There can be failures. Sometimes there are flaws in the protection, so you must be extremely careful. And our guy here, he learns this, and you will see more about that. So that'll be a good one to cover here. Definitely to help you, especially you younger guys out there starting out and more inclined to let your southern head do all the thinking. He says, hello SSM. I want to thank you for what you've been doing for the young men out there. I've been listening to your channel for about 2 years now. Well, bro, my pleasure. I'm happy to help out. I'm currently 27 years old, but this incident took place about 6 years ago. At the time, I just completed my military training and was working as a Black Hawk mechanic. Wow, that's cool. Unexpectedly, I received a phone call from an unrecognized phone number. Since it originated from the state where I've been training, I decided to send back the text back to ensure that I wasn't missing any mail while I was away from home. I was surprised to discover that the caller was a woman who expressed how cute she found me, among other things. Let's refer to her as Kelsey. Naturally, I inquired how and where she obtained my phone number, which turned out to be from my Instagram. So you don't know this woman? Out of nowhere, she's reaching out to you. She found you on Instagram and thought you were good looking. Okay. Stalker. That's effed up. But let me guess. She was damn good looking. So the guy's like, okay. All common sense goes right out the door. We communicated back and forth for about a month or two, and I began to develop feelings for her as well. Smack! From this psycho that's found you and started reaching out to you and all that. You even met her yet? I know you were 21 then, and we all do dumbass things at 21. Well, we do dumbass things at 46 and 76, but, you were young. During that period, we were FaceTiming about once or twice a day, and she expressed a desire for me to visit her. How about you come to me? I'm not coming to you. Although I considered various possibilities, including the chance of being a setup, I carefully evaluated everything and then planned the trip. It was a 2.5-hour drive from my house to her town, where I booked a hotel. Smack! This whole thing is nuts, and as a military guy, I'm not seeing how you couldn't get some ass elsewhere, other than some girl that hit you up online from Instagram. But why don't you have her come to you? She was the one chasing after you initially. Why should you do the 2.5-hour drive, put the miles and the wear and tear on your car, and pay for the hotel? Let her come to your area here. Little things, guys. When we met, I was definitely underwhelmed. But having come so far, I felt it was too late to back out. Oh, you mean, in other words, she probably wasn't appealing, didn't look as good in person as she did, like how she made herself out to be on Instagram, and maybe even the FaceTiming and stuff like that. But you figured, hey, I drove this far, I booked the hotel, all right, I'll nail her and go about my business. She suggested we visit a nearby installation, and her family and her familiarity was navigating it, and her familiarity with navigating it raised a red flag for me. But I tucked that observation away in the back of my mind. Afterwards, we grabbed something to eat. Following our meal, we returned to the hotel, where I ensured to use protection before she departed. Okay, well, at least you used protection. And this should have been the end of this. After returning home, we continued to stay in touch, gradually building more trust between us. She mentioned she was going to start taking the pill, a detail I didn't give much thought to at the time, indicating she wanted to forgo protection during my next visit. Oh, hell no. Always wear protection, always provide your own protection, dispose your protection, and don't buy this I'm on the pill BS. About 1 month later, I planned another trip and made hotel reservations for 3 days. Smack! Again, why isn't she coming to you? On the first night, we grabbed a bite to eat, and she spent the night with me in the hotel. The following morning, I met her parents and sister at her house, where her mom had prepared breakfast for all of us. This really seems weird. They asked me various questions to gauge my character, and they seemed to take a liking to me. Later on, we visited her grandmothers, all of whom were very polite. Why are you visiting her family? I mean, this is very strange. Following day, we dined at a Texas Roadhouse before visiting her grandma's house, where her aunt, eager to meet me, was waiting. Everything appeared to be going well thereafter, and we returned to my hotel so she could retrieve her car and head home. While conversing in the parking lot, she received a FaceTime call from an unsaved phone number. Aha, who could this be? I suggested she answer it, but she chose to send it directly to voicemail instead. I didn't overreact, but made a mental note of it. Despite her suggestion that we go back up to my room, I decided to decline this time. So there were a lot of red flags here, obviously, and things that told you this was no good. But at the end of the day, the other head took control. I returned home on Sunday morning, my mind preoccupied with thoughts about the unanswered FaceTime call. It prompted me to closely observe her behavior, which soon included a newfound interest in attending parties. This shift led to a disagreement between us a few weeks later. As a result, I made the decision to block her. Despite this, she managed to reach out to me via email, revealing that the unsaved number from the night before belonged to another man in the Army, the same person she had been FaceTiming. Shocker. Really? You don't think that you really thought at the time that you were the only guy she was talking to? Come on here. And remember, I know, by the way, you blocked her. Well, that's nice, but she tracked you down the first time. She's going to find another way to find you. This disclosure led me to cease all contact with her permanently. After moving on, I began a new relationship, which was progressing well. However, during this time, Kelsey contacted me from a different phone number, claiming she felt pregnant. Felt pregnant? Well, they have tests for that at CVS or Walgreens. Initially skeptical, I conceded the possibility due to the unprotected encounters. This led me to realize she had lied about using birth control, resulting in a significant scare for me. And you were the dumbass that was porking her without any freaking condoms on. Why do you think that she wanted that? Oh, because it'll feel... Yeah, okay, fine. It feels better. Yeah, without the condom. But still. Really? This crazy chick? Kelsey requested I accompany her for a pregnancy test, an invitation I declined, suspecting might be a tactic to manipulate or reunite us. You're darn right. I suggested she proceed with the test and we could discuss the results afterwards. Her frustration grew as she failed to sway me to her perspective, leading me to ignore her attempts at communication. Eventually, it was revealed that she was aware of not being pregnant, effectively closing that tumultuous chapter in our lives. Of course it was bullshit. This chick's a wacko. I dedicated myself to my career and have achieved significant progress, ascending through the professional ranks. This success enabled me to purchase a home and build a substantial retirement account. Good for you, bro, and you're in your late 20s. Contrary to her predictions of my failure, I've excelled and am thriving in my endeavors. Her predictions of your failures, what? Was it like, if you don't talk to me, you're going to be nothing in life, blah, blah, blah? The essential takeaway from this experience is the importance of using protection consistently until absolute certainty in a relationship is achieved. There is never absolute certainty. All these stories on my channels prove there's never absolute certainty. Now, if you're married and you want to have both, you want to have children, then okay. But other than that, there's no absolute certainty. And newsflash, even then, You can still wear condoms and there can be accidents, even if you handled everything. Remember that, guys. It highlights the need to be vigilant about warning signs and maintain autonomy, resisting any attempts at manipulation from these females. Well, it was pretty easy for her to get to you. She flattered you with her attention, saying you were cute, and obviously the thought of getting some pussy, I'm sure that helped as well, and she knew that. They all knew that. I possess other intriguing narratives, particularly about women in the Army with deployment settings. If you're interested, please let me know. You have stories about the gals in the military? Oh, please send them in. Oh, we love those. And the military guys, you need repeated warnings in these stories to not get involved with those types, and also most certainly not marry or anything like that when you're in the military. You want to do that afterwards, knock yourself out, but when you're in the military, that's nuts. Are there exceptions? Yes, but still, it's pretty well known. These things don't end well. Well, hey, bros, a quick one. But as I always say, and I said in the beginning, always provide your protection, always wear protection, and dispose your protection, and don't buy this bullshit that she's on the pill. Because a lot of times they just want to trap you. They see a guy that can have a stable income, stable life, and they don't have to work. You get the point, you know. And does every girl do this? No, but a lot do. And if you be warned. That's why I share these types of stories to help guys out, particularly you young guys that haven't been around the block too much like us old fuckers here. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, you got a good story, definitely email to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. I don't care if it's 3 pages long or it's 10 pages long or shit, even 20 pages sometimes, but that's a bit excessive. Value in everything. And even if you think that your story may not be helpful, send it anyway. It's therapeutic to write it out. A lot of guys say that. And believe me, I can find a lesson pretty much in every story, or some good fucking entertainment. And this also goes for an occasional good news article you may stumble upon, or some good stories you might find on Reddit that I can use on the other channels. The more you guys send me material, I can then get the videos out. I've had a lot of things going on in my life lately, so you probably have noticed I haven't done as many videos lately, but I'm now getting back on track. And so the more you send to me, the more I can get them out. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.